Hi there, this is Chelsea Gormley, and I will be going through an image analysis on Spruce Woods Provincial Park, focusing on locating sand in the Spruce Woods area and determining if there has been any movement in the position of sand dunes over a period of time. So there were several industries and applications that would have been good to find this information. The one that I thought was most useful was in the geology industry. In geology, they're looking for mineral bases and rock and things like that, and so one mineral base that they try and find is aggregate or limestone, which is essentially sand and gravel, because it's the two main ingredients in concrete, which is a pretty staple product in our society. So in regards to remote sensing, geologists kind of determine spectral reflectance signatures, surface morphology, and structural bedding to determine different mineral bases. So that's how we can use remote sensing in that regard. Data requirements, if it's on a smaller base, it can be just a high-resolution air photo. If it's on a larger, kind of more regional scale, having more of a synergistic combo of radar and optical images to highlight the terrain and the textural information is a really good way to go about finding what you're looking for in a mineral base. In order to determine where sand was in Spruce Woods, I chose several different processes. First, I downloaded the image from Landsat 8. This image is from September 1st, 2018. So what I had to do first was make a composite. So what I did was I basically took all the single bands that I got from that image and I put it all onto one raster, and I arranged the bands so that I had a true color composite. So 1, 2, 3 being blue, green, red, and this is what the image gave me. So from there, I wanted to be able to have a sharper image, so I did a pan sharpen. This image here has a pixel amount of 30 meters, whereas the pan sharpen is 15 meters. So it's just got a better resolution and that kind of thing in there. So I basically took the spatial reference here, and I used the good resolution here, popped it on top, and that's kind of the image that it popped out here. So a lot more detail, and it's a lot lighter, and it was a good pre-processing image to start to work with. Then I went into an equal area stretch. This kind of stretched out the gray areas into all the pixels equally. So it kind of gave me really good definition in the sand dunes, where you can see really good vegetation or different height levels of the sand dunes. So that just enhanced my image. I also went into an infrared image, which the band on that was 543, and that allowed me to really determine where lush green vegetation was and where there was a lack of lush green vegetation. So I mean, the sand dunes being there, I can really see where there is not as much lush vegetation compared to other areas in the park. Then I did an NDVI just to give me a different overview of the different levels of vegetation. So orange kind of is my bare land. Yellow would be, some of my not as lush vegetation, so there's a lot of yellow, and then the green is where I do have lush vegetation, so it just gave me a different level there. My NDMI, it gave me a moisture index, so it really just highlighted where I'm going to find moisture base. In a desert kind of sand situation, you're not going to find very much moisture, which can also be a highlighting feature, so that was kind of an interesting image to look for. I also wanted to showcase the movement of sand. I didn't see the movement that I wanted in the sand dunes here. This goes from 1984 to 2018. So all I saw was kind of a vegetation growing in between the sand dunes and that kind of thing, but not the movement I was hoping for. There is a lot of sand deposits in the Assiniboine River over time, so that was kind of a neat process to be able to see over time. With this image, I would have done a supervised classification because I already knew the image itself, so I knew exactly what classes I needed to be able to put in there. I've already done some ground truthing myself, so I knew what needed to be in there. I would have done a multi-temporal data type just because I wanted to show that that imaging over time. And yeah, hopefully this was interesting, and I quite enjoyed the project, and thank you very much.